Sorry. Hello everyone. Now I hope we all are good. Sorry for the technical glitch. We had a double audio, so we could not continue. So I will start again. So yeah, today I am your host Rune Nandekar for today's session on the topic of role of a business analyst and product manager in IT industry. So before we go ahead on the topic, I would like to quickly introduce myself and my experience of. So yeah, my full name is Runen Andekar and I have a 4+ years
Now
of
I hope
experience in
we all
IT
are good.
service
Sorry for
industry,
the technical
consulting
glitch.
and
We
product
had a double audio,
based.
so we could continue. So
So
I will
I
start
did my engineering and it
again.
was from mechanical
So
engineering from Oriental Institute of Science and Technology in 2014. And after that, I stepped into the IT industry. There I saw so many scope of a creativity, innovation, leadership, initiatives. And there I got to know many people. I expand my connections and I got to know about the business insights, how IT runs the business. And that's a very important part. As a mechanical engineer, I was not so much into the coding and technical stuff. So I did some more research and I got that I have a good interest in business administration also. So then I decided to go ahead and work more for my educational portfolio and I decided to do MBA. And I took admission on Symbiosis Center for Information Technology, Pune, and completed my MBA in IT Business Management in 2021. After my engineering, I was in Cognizant as a software tester. And after my MBA, I got placed into PwC as a associate consultant too. And currently, I am working with Illusion as a business analyst. And it has been a great journey, great learning, and great experience. So today, I will be trying to help you all with my experience and knowledge of business analyst and product manager role. So let's get into the topic now. So yeah, the business analyst, this word, this word is buzzing around us, right? So many IT professionals are hearing this word and seeing themselves for being a business analyst. So what is a business analyst? So many concepts, so many Google videos, and there is a scope of it because we find many things. And as a business analyst, you have so much of responsibility because if we even talk just about IT industry, so there we have majorly three different type of ITs. One is IT services, second is consulting services, and third is product based. So in all three these type of industry, there is a slight change in business analyst role. So I will be covering business analyst responsibilities, roles, and key skills in a generic way. Okay, so it will be differing just a little bit as per the industry. So yeah, as we know, in IT industry, we basically have two major teams. We can divide it into two. So one is a business team where we have business owner, clients, product managers, product owners, and another we have technical team, which includes development team, quality assurance team, technical architectures, documentation team, and etc. So where do a BA belongs? It's always been a confusing point for everyone that where do a business analyst belongs to? So actually the answer is it belongs to both the team. The BAs are there in IT industry for bridging the gap between business people and the technical people. So why do we need that? Because when we understand business, so it's on a value based service, right? When we run business, we see from where we can add values to our customer and to our monetarily. So there is a requirements which is based on the business flows, based on your business outcome we want, a client what they want from the application, from the website, from the product. And technical team who are totally technical and work based on the logical, right? So technical team uses technical logics and business use business logics. So BA, the business analyst, has to understand the business need of a firm and try to understand that how a technical team with collaboration with different other teams, how we can give a solution to our customer so that they can be benefited. So as you can see here we have two teams and BAs are in middle. So from business team, generally BAs interact with the teams, different groups. They conduct workshop, they conduct interviews, they try to gather information and requirements, and then they change it to technical requirements, and they give it to technical team, and then it goes for the production and building phase. And from the technical team, we have so many solutions, different type of architecturing, different type of frameworks which we can be used, and it has different values as per the different technologies. So as per the business need, as per the contract, we sign the framework, we decide that how we will be going ahead for the product management. So yeah, this is a nutshell work for business analyst. Now we can deeply dive into the roles of that. So major roles of business analyst, what are those? So the first thing is that coordination between multiple teams within the organization. In the organization, we have multiple teams who deals with the multiple sector, multiple ways of work. They have different outcomes for every team. So business analyst has to understand that what business want and has to understand that how the technical team can come to the solution and provide it to our customer. So second thing, to understand business requirement. For understanding business requirement, we need a domain knowledge. We have so many different type of domains where we now using IT. So for every domain, we have some different type of business requirements. So if a business analyst can have a prior domain knowledge, would definitely add value to their profile, to the company and their work. So yeah, to understand business requirement, we should be having a prior domain knowledge. That's add up. And with that, the second most thing which business analyst has to do is a prioritizing them. So with collaboration with the product manager, BAs decided that how we can go ahead for the product development. Now, the business analyst has to create solution based on the requirement. They have to identify that what are the requirement. They have to create the change management proposals if the product if the project is already ongoing. They has to always go towards the organization goal, that what the organization vision and mission is and how the IT technology can help them to get those. So business analyst get together and collaborate with technical architect, team and development team to ensure that every requirement has been understood very clearly and people can work on that. The next thing is about the delivering the correct elements, because when we work in agile methodology, we have a continuous flow of development, of deployment, of testing. So we cannot break a change. So for that, we have to make very sure that every requirements are very clear and understood by the technical team. So that whenever we are going to client to deliver some deliverables, so it should be correct and there should be no faults. Otherwise, it will be a loss from the development team. So yeah, so every element of design, every element of business rule, and every element of privacy policies, those should be correctly drafted. Now, there are many requirements which are like umbrella. We call that umbrella requirement. And in technical language, it is called epics. In one epic, we could have many stories. Stories are the breaking down a big requirement to the small pieces so that that can be developed easily and tracked easily. And if we have any failure, so we can detect it before itself and prevent them. So yeah, those are the major roles which business analyst has to do. Now going for the next thing. So what are the main three key responsibilities of a business analyst? So if we jot down three basic responsibilities, so those are understanding of a business requirement, planning, and decision making and problem solving. So where do we start? We start with the understanding of business requirement. We collaborate with clients, we collaborate with many business stakeholders and try to understand what the organization is going ahead, in which direction, what is their vision, how do they want to go, what are the values they are looking for to add from the IT technology. So for that, a business analyst has to be very responsible for understanding business requirements. The second thing comes as a planning. So planning is very much important, because when we come with so many business requirements, we have to segregate those into a different sprints as per the prioritization, and this should be well planned. Why? Because in agile methodology, we work on a sprints which is time boxed. In every sprint, we has to deliver some of the features or some of the enhancement. So for that to happen successfully, we have to plan it before. So whenever a sprint start, we have already planned a sprint backlogs. Backlogs are the requirements which are ready to go in a build phase. Third thing which comes for a business analyst is a decision making and a problem solving. So this is a first skill which needs to be there for a business analyst. Why? Because when we try to understand a business requirement, client expect us to give them some of the insight or some of the demo that how we have already been tackling those errors. So that is why there is some proverb that says that it takes so many years to become a business analyst and a product manager. And it's true, but it's not 100%. There are many cases where a fresher just came out of the college and they are doing well as a business analyst and a product manager. So that depends on you, that how you develop your skills on the domain, on the problem solving, on the decision making, and how are you in your normal life. So yeah, these three responsibilities are the key responsibilities of business analyst. Now, if we see that what are the top 10 business analyst skills which generally recruiters looking for. So yeah, as we know that as a business analyst, we have to collaborate with a different team within the organization and even outside the organization. So for that, a good business analyst must have a very, very, very good oral and written communication skills. There should be a good interpersonal skills also, so that we can collaborate with the team we can facilitate them nicely so that we can get so many answers. Because as a business analyst, you would be having a pack of questions, and without questioning, you cannot deliver a quality product. So that's a very significant size of a good business analyst, that they ask so many questions, and for that you have to facilitate it properly to the teams, because the level of people are different when we collaborate. Fourth skill is analytical thinking and problem solving, as we have already talked about it. So it should be there that business analysts should understand that how we can change those business logics to the technical logics. Now, when we segregate the requirements, we should be knowing that how much detail we should be looking at, because there are many cases when we create any user story to create a big feature, there are many dependencies with other systems, with other teams, or maybe with other platforms too. So we should be knowing that in detail, that from which page, from which database, from which platform it has to be linked to. So for that, we should be very much detail oriented and capable of delivering the high level of accuracy that is much expected from this team. Now, for doing all these things, we need a very good organizational skills, because when we talk to different stakeholders, everyone has their different level of understanding, technicalities, and business. So, for all those things, we should be very much organized, and we should be knowing when we are talking to some business stakeholder, then how we should be talking, and when we are talking to any technical team member or solving any query from the technical team, so how we should be talking to them. So for that, we should be having a detailed organizational skills. Now we should know that what all are our stakeholders. If we don't know them, then we will not be able to communicate effectively with them. So that is why a good business analyst should have a stakeholder analysis skills too. Also, with that, when we go into the domain knowledge, it is there that every domain has their different structure of business. So, a good business analyst should have a understanding of business structure and functional domain knowledge also. Also, when we create any kind of requirement, there should be in-depth knowledge of requirement specification and how do that get development. What is the process flow, and how do we create a business use cases? Because when we initiate any product or any project, we has to give some business use cases so that in a high level, every team member can understand that what is going to be delivered, what is our exact deliverables. So for that, we should be having an in-depth knowledge of requirement specification too. There should be an understanding of process modeling and agile methodology and different type of software development methodologies, because until unless we know that what methodology is getting followed in your organization, we will not be able to organize it properly. But in this era, most of the organization is using agile, but even it has some different formats. So a good business analyst should have a good knowledge with different type of software development methodologies that can be easily learned online. There are many material which can help to anyone. Going ahead, if we want to see that how a business analyst daily activities looks like, how do we start our day, what do we do, what do we see on the first login whenever we do it. So that is a very important thing, and many people are curious to know that. So coming into that, whenever we start our day, so first of all, we have to check that what are the today's engagement with whom. So that is the first thing which we check, so that we can be organized for the whole day, and we can be knowing that what time slots we are having for which type of discussion, so that we can be well prepared for that. So for that, we should be knowing that what are the business issues. We should identify that. And until we identify the business issues, we cannot know that to whom to connect, how to connect, for how many time to connect, what to ask. So for that, we generally check for the business issue, what has been done yesterday, what is the today's plan. So for that, first of all, we attend a Scrum call, stand-up call, which is a Scrum method, which comes in Scrum methodology. So on that, we generally discuss that what has been done, was there any challenges, and what is the activity which we are going to work. So from that, we get to know our starting point, that how our day is going to be today. So for that, once we got to know the business issues, we can go for the data collection. We can check for some of the recordings, requirements, some documents, the workshop documents, interview documents, which we generally do on an initial phase of starting any project. So that goes on a second phase. Then we go for the business analysis, because that is the continuous things which goes from the first day of project till the delivery date. So every person in the team should know that what is the business need. So for that, to make a live business analyst is there who all the time keeps telling to the team that what is the business objective so that nobody can miss on it. After that, the data solution evaluation. So after we analyze the data, business, and know the issues, then we go for the data solution evaluation. So many a time it happens that we have to connect with the different people to ask for the solution, or we know that we had already had some of the discussion, but there is some detail needed for it because now that particular story is being made. So then we come to solution, and then presentation of a solution. So for every day at the last, or maybe on the next day of starting, we have to present that what was the business solution which we have done on, what business value it is going to add on the client side. So that is the main thing which goes in repetitive manner for a life of a business analyst. So yeah, this was a normal overview in a high level for a business analyst role. Now, I have been in connect with many people, and I know there are some common question which is being asked. So I would like to just give some gist of those questions. So like first we have that many people ask that do business analysts need programming skills? So answer is no. No business analyst has to do coding. But yes, if you have a prior experience of development, how coding works, how the logic works, that is always a good add-on because it makes your understanding so proper so that you actually save a time, team time, you save it because you know the logics, you can come directly to the solution and suggest to the development team and have a discussion with them. So yes, there is no hard rule that business analyst should have a coding knowledge. Second question which generally comes that what technical skills should a business analyst have? So yes, definitely there is a need of a technical skills to business analysts. It adds so much of value to their work. It saves so much of effort and time. So generally business analysts have some part of role to play with the database, with the business. So we should be knowing that basics of SQL, how to check tables and columns, rows. So that is needed. Excel in many manner it helps for tracking purpose. Jira is a project management tool which helps a lot and widely used in many firms. There is Python, Power BI, and many more. So yes, technical skills are always good for business analysts. Coming to next question, which is what are the certification for a business analyst? So yes, to become a certified business analyst, there are many certification. I have mentioned few, but you can find many on the web. So the main body which is there, which is globally recognized, is International Institute of Business Analysis, uh, which is called majorly called IABA, and they have